Every year, UH Energy brings critical issues in energy to our annual symposium series. The third topic of the series is energy policy. Did the U.S. win or lose in the Iran nuclear deal? The history between the U.S. and Iran has been strained for many years, but the newly adopted Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action may be a step in a different direction with implications to the energy market. In 1974, Iran signed the International Atomic Energy Agency Safeguards Agreement, an addendum to the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons Treaty in which Iran consented to mandatory inspections and promised to never become a nuclear-armed state. Soon after, the world discovered that Iran had been developing a nuclear program that the IAEA and major powers say violated the NPT obligations, prompting the first round of sanctions. In the early 2000s, indications of work on uranium enrichment spurred additional rounds of sanctions from the UN, European Union, and US government. While these international sanctions sought to block nuclear-related materials from Iran, they were also created to place an economic vice on the Iranian government to compel Iran to end its uranium enrichment program and other nuclear weapons-related efforts. In 2012, the United Nations Security Council, the United States, the member states of the European Union, the Republic of Korea, Japan, Canada, Australia, and others imposed sanctions measures on Iran concerning their nuclear, missile, energy, transportation, and financial sectors. Iran's economy, which relies on oil and gas exports to fuel roughly 80% of its public revenue, saw the worst impact of these sanctions. Iran's share in the global oil market plummeted. According to the International Energy Agency and 2015 BP Statistical Review of World Energy, Iran produced an average of 1 million barrels of oil per day in 2014, a substantial decrease from the 3.2 million barrels per day of oil the country produced in 2013. Even though estimates designate Iran as the largest natural gas reserve holder in the world, they currently supply less than 1% of the world's natural gas. In the summer of 2015, after months of global negotiations, the US, China, France, Russia, United Kingdom, Germany, and the United Nations came to an agreement with Iran concerning their nuclear program. What can Iran expect from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action? Under the deal, Iran will give up most of its resources used to enrich uranium while also curbing their current nuclear program by turning their Fordow enrichment facility into a research center where scientists worldwide will work together. In return, sanctions on Iran will be lifted. Iran will be subject to random observations of its nuclear facilities. According to a report released by the White House after its finalization, the deal blocks Iran from building a nuclear weapon while allowing them to rebuild their economy and improve their society overall. Iran says its chief goal for this deal is stabilizing their economy with oil investments, exports, and business deals with major oil companies in other countries. Furthermore, according to the U.S. Treasury Department, Iran currently possesses $150 billion in frozen assets as a result of the 2012 sanctions, which will become available after the deal. Critics say that lifting the sanctions all at once is congruent to the U.S. subsidizing Iran's economy. In October 2015, the JCPOA was officially adopted, and as long as Iran complies with the agreement, the plan for sanctions relief will proceed. In November 2015, Iran hosted a conference for a large group of oil giants from across the globe, except there were no representatives from the U.S. Iran's goal was to establish business partnerships in order to boost their production in the coming years. The country hopes to produce up to 5 million barrels per day by 2020. Bisan Namdar Zanganeh, Iran's oil minister, said that he would like to add the U.S. to these discussions but has been met with serious opposition from the percentage of the populace that mistrust the United States. The IEA predicted that once sanctions are lifted, Iran will add 300 million barrels of oil to OPEC's supply, and as Iran begins to export, inventory is only expected to grow. Meanwhile, the United States' oil production will decrease by 415,000 barrels a day. What does all this mean for the U.S. in terms of our energy economy? Even if global oil production slows and prices go up, economic experts say that the positive effects of the rising oil prices won't be felt in the U.S. until late 2016, and even then the effects might be minimal. Since the shale revolution, drilling in the U.S. has increased and oil reserves have boomed. Iran is coming back into the market and keeping prices low. Much of the U.S.'s oil reserves have been produced through fracking and other expensive drilling innovations. American oil companies will likely have to stop production in order to retain profit from its oil sales. This is why so many drills and rigs are being shut down all over the country. However, demand is expected to remain high. As OPEC's supply is depleted, the U.S. could regain some momentum in the race. We invite you to join us for a discussion that will begin to answer these questions on Monday, February 15th at 5:30 p.m. in the UH Student Center South, Houston room. The symposium will feature a panel of guest speakers, including Anthony Cordesman, Arleigh A. Burke Chair in Strategy at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, Sara Vakhshouri, founder and president of SVB Energy International, and Cliff Kupchan, chairman and practice head, Eurasia Group. Moderating the symposium is Tomlinson, business columnist for the Houston Chronicle. We look forward to a great discussion and hope to see you there.